Welcome to your One Valley MyFund portal. We're going to look at how to create a grant request in the new portal. On almost all of the pages in the new portal, you'll find this yellow button near the top right called Create Grant Request. If you click on that button, it will bring you to the page where there are 3 ways to initiate a grant request. You can search for a previous grantee or fund. You can do a general search, or you can enter in a manual grantee. We're going to look at these one at a time. First, we'll go to previous grantee or fund. At the top here are a few instructions. They'll show on each one of the grant pages. But if we're going to walk through it together, the first option is to search from grantees you have given to in the past. So these are organizations that you have given to in the past that are not part of One Valley itself. So I'm going to click in here and you'll see there's a drop-down list of all the different organizations that I've given to from my donor advised fund in the past. The second section shows foundation funds you have given to in the past. These are funds at One Valley that you have given to. This could be the One Valley Operating Fund to support our ongoing operations, or one of our programs like our Youth Giving Project. And the third option is other foundation funds. These are other funds held at One Valley that you have not given to in the past. If I click from this list, you can see one of our fiscal sponsorships, Be Well Big Sky, shows up, the Education Fund, which is an endowment that we house, and other endowments that are publicly listed at One Valley and available for donation. If you click any of these, you can then go forward and it will bring you a grant request page. On this page, you can enter a description. If there's anything particular about your donation that's important to note, please put it here. Please remember to keep descriptions rather short, as there's not a lot of space on the final page that's mailed to the grantee. If you have no specific designation, then it's helpful to just put in something such as unrestricted support. You can then put your grant amount in. If it's anonymous, you can mark that. If you'd like it to be recurring and have more than one instance, you can mark that. If you had an attachment you'd like to send to the One Valley team, you can add that. That's not required. And if there are other notes you'd like to tell us, feel free to put them there. Then you can click Add to Cart. You can see that this grant to Open and Local for unrestricted support for $10,000 is now showing in my cart. Let's go back to Create Grant Request and look at the second option. This one is Search Grantee. Perhaps you know this is a grantee that you have never given to in the past. The first thing to do is to search the One Valley database. It's very possible that another fund holder has already granted to this organization. Let's search for the National Ability Center. When I search that, I don't get any results, and it prompts me to check the Candid Results button above. Candid Result button is here in this yellow button at the top, and it will allow you to search a national database. If I search with a very general term, like Gallatin, I get a lot of request options. These are all in the One Valley database. If any of these are the right organization, you can click Create Request. If they're not the right organization, you can click Candid Results. And now it's searching Candid with that same search term. And you can see that there are 388 possible organizations. That's not quite right. I want to try again. I'm going to search again for the National Ability Center. Searches One Valley as the default. Again, no results. But if I click Candid Results, it will search the national database. And you can now see that the National Ability Center is one of the options, and I can create the request. If I knew the EIN, I could search by that. So we can come back here. I'm going to take out the grantee name, and I'm just going to put in the EIN, and I'm going to search. Searching for the EIN, as we know, it's not in the One Valley database. I can click Candid Results. And now I have a much shorter list, as it only brings back the one organization that has that EIN. If I wanted to send a grant, I could create a request and begin that process. The final option is manual grantee. This is where you can enter in a grantee that you can't find through the search of the One Valley database or the Candid database. Maybe you don't have enough information to complete a full search, or maybe they aren't showing up because they're super new and they haven't yet been updated in the Candid database. To send the information to One Valley, you're required to enter the grantee name and address. It's also best practice to send us the EIN if you know it. That helps us narrow down which organization. If you don't know it, we'll do some research and we'll try to find the organization. If we can't find the organization or we aren't sure which organization you're referencing, we'll reach out to you and ask for some more information so that we can be sure that we're sending your grant to the organization that you're intending. Anytime that you add a grant to your cart, you can go back and check on it by clicking cart here on the right. I can review those grant requests and check them. Yes, those are all the ones I would like to send. I don't want to make any edits. And there's one last piece here at the bottom that's really important. It just notes that you are recommending One Valley review and approve the grants. One Valley will ensure that these distributions comply with IRS code and policies. And you're also certifying that the recommendations do not fulfill any binding pledge, and neither you nor your family will receive any goods or services or benefits in exchange for the grants. If you try to submit without checking that box, you'll get an error message that just reminds you to check this box if you'd like to proceed. Once that's checked, you can submit the grant requests and they'll be sent to the One Valley team.